Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, and this month of November already has been quite the month when it comes to layoffs within the tech industry. Our latest round of layoffs is concerning the company Amazon, but let's take a moment to remember the other company layoffs that have occurred so far this month, specifically concerning Twitter and Meta. So Twitter kicked off the month on November 3rd. So on November 3rd is when Elon Musk had made the announcement that employees would be involved in layoffs that were to begin on Friday, November 4th, but details of the various departments and employees affected were not initially disclosed. Instead, employees began losing access to company platforms like email and Slack, and even actual company facilities on Thursday, November 3rd. So the evening of Thursday, November 3rd is when access began to shut down concerning employees that were technically laid off the next day, Friday, November 4th. Twitter layoffs were approximately 50% of employees and 3,700 layoffs. So that was Twitter within the first couple days of November, followed by Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook. Meta layoffs began with a message on November 9th, 2022. It was a message to Meta employees by Mark Zuckerberg. It was posted to the website, and the layoffs included 11,000 layoffs and approximately 11% of employees. So thus far, we've seen Twitter and Meta having massive layoffs during this month, and now we see that Amazon is beginning wide layoffs as well. There are a variety of articles that have posted about this, but let's focus on some information that we've obtained both from LinkedIn and then also from CNBC. So following Monday's New York Times report that Amazon was implementing wide cuts, the tech giant began laying off workers on Tuesday, according to multiple reports. Members impacted by layoffs are sharing on LinkedIn, and of course, we'll add some of their reactions throughout this video as we go. Amazon began implementing its anticipated job cuts across its tech and corporate workforce, according to CNBC and the Washington Post. The news came a day after the New York Times reported that the tech giant was set to lay off 10,000 employees, or 3% of its staff, largely in its retail and Alexa units due to slowed growth. The retrenchment by the e-commerce giant during the peak holiday shopping season underscores the economic uncertainty facing businesses, especially in technology, with Amazon joining peers such as Twitter and Meta in making large reductions to staff. The company has reduced headcount by 80,000 from spring through September, mostly through attrition, and froze hiring at both the corporate and hourly level. Workers impacted by the layoffs are sharing on LinkedIn. And of course, like I said, we'll share some of their posts here. But for now, let's cut over to an article, specifically CNBC article. And this article is from yesterday, from Tuesday, November 15th. It says Amazon starts cutting jobs with layoffs hitting Alexa unit and cloud gaming division. The key points are that Amazon has begun laying off employees in its corporate and tech workforce. CEO Andy Jassy has moved aggressively to cut costs across Amazon, and the company previously said it would freeze hiring in its corporate workforce. Amazon on Tuesday began laying off employees in its corporate and tech workforce as CEO Andy Jassy steps up efforts to rein in costs. The company notified workers in several divisions, including Alexa and the Luna Cloud Gaming Unit, that they were being let go, according to LinkedIn posts from Amazon employees who said they had been impacted. Amazon is aiming to eliminate about 10,000 jobs, mostly in retail, devices, and human resources, the New York Times reported Monday. The number remains fluid because the cuts are being implemented by individual teams, according to the Times. By midday Tuesday, Amazon had not sent any company-wide communications about the planned layoffs, which sparked frustration among employees, according to a person familiar with the matter who asked not to be named because of confidentiality. So it seems that Amazon is following the path that Twitter followed, where there aren't very detailed communications concerning exactly who is being laid off and the specific departments that are involved. The article continues, representatives from Amazon declined to comment. In recent weeks, Amazon also began laying off some contracted employees who worked in recruiting roles for its advertising, internal operations, and Fire TV divisions, according to people with knowledge of the cuts. One employee who asked to remain anonymous said Amazon informed her earlier this month that it wouldn't be renewing her contract. Last month, she was in talks to pursue a full-time role in Amazon's consumer division, but her interview was abruptly canceled due to ongoing restructuring, she was told. The good old restructuring word. Jazzy has aggressively curtailed expenses across the company in recent months as it stares down a weakening economy and slowing growth in its retail business. Previously, the company said it would pause hiring among its corporate workforce, and it has halted some experimental projects, as well as opted to close, delay, or cancel new warehouse locations. Until now, it had managed to avoid mass layoffs by offering employees impacted by project closures the opportunity to transfer to other divisions within the company. The job cuts represent a stark reversal for Amazon, which less than a year ago couldn't find enough workers to keep its warehouses staffed in a hot labor market and was still in the midst of a pandemic-fueled hiring spree. It nearly doubled its workforce between the end of 2019 and the end of 2021, from 798,000 employees globally to 1.6 million. That is impressive. That's impressive growth. Since then, it has moved to slow headcount growth as consumers have returned to physical stores, and its retail business is no longer growing at a rapid clip as it has in recent years. Amazon CFO Brandy Osowski last month said the company is seeing signs consumers are feeling the sting of inflation. We are preparing for what could be a slower growth period, Osowski said on the call with reporters following the company's third quarter earnings results, which included weaker than expected guidance for the current period. The company still plans to bring on 150,000 employees for the holiday shopping period, the same number of workers it said it would add last year. Job cuts are hitting the tech sector hard after years of unbridled growth. Facebook parent Meta last week laid off 13% of its staff, while Twitter, Shopify, Salesforce, and Stripe have also announced cuts. The expected layoffs would represent the biggest cut in the company's 28-year history. In 2001, Amazon slashed 1,300 jobs, or 15% of its workforce, after the dot-com bubble burst. So there we have it. Unfortunately, yet another tech company that has started into layoffs, preceded by two other tech giants. And we're only halfway into November, so we'll continue to see how this progresses, and we'll keep you up to date.